So she looks at me and says, Ariana, how am I supposed to track a cycle that hasn't shown up in 6 years? And the wild part, she thought that was normal. She thought her body didn't have anything to say. And maybe you're not at 6 years, but maybe you're on a cycle 10 with no clear sign of ovulation. Or your app keeps giving you dates you know aren't right. Or your symptoms feel like pregnancy one week and PMS the next. Listen, your cycle has a rhythm, even if it feels chaotic right now. And in this episode, I'm going to break down exactly why your cycle might feel unpredictable, what your symptoms are really telling you, and how to finally decode your fertile window without losing your mind. If you've been Googling, second guessing, or driving yourself crazy trying to figure out your cycle out, this is the conversation you've been waiting for. Welcome to Fertility and Wholeness Podcast. Are you tired of seeing that test be negative month after month? Will you ever stop having to take test after test? Are you scared of all the medical terminology, office visits, and misinformation you see at every turn on your infertility journey? If you answer yes to any of those, you're not alone. You are at the right place. I'm so happy you're here with us. My name is Ariana. I'm a fertility care practitioner and a wholeness coach with over a decade of experience on the field. I created this podcast because I know what it is to feel alone and lost while navigating fertility problems. And after helping hundreds of women, teaching them how to not protract their cycles, boost their fertility, and navigate their monthly emotional roller coaster and get pregnant naturally, I am on a mission to empower women to take charge of their fertility journey. In this podcast, you will find heartfelt conversations, education, tips on how to take care of and understand your fertility, emotional support, simple lifestyle changes to boost your fertility, nutrition, self-care routines, tips for handling stress and anxiety with ease. We have amazing, exciting expert interviews and guests, inspirational stories, and practical advice on preparing for pregnancy and joyful delivery. Are you ready to reclaim your health, your life, and become pregnant naturally? If so, grab your green juice and prenatal vitamins. This episode is just what the doctor ordered. Welcome back to Fertility and Wholeness with Ariana. Today, we are talking about something that frustrates more women than you ever imagined. Cycles that feel unpredictable, weird, inconsistent, and honestly, impossible to track. If you ever say, I always had crazy cycles, my symptoms make no sense. My app is telling me something totally different than my body. Or I fear I'm not ovulating at all. Just breathe. You're absolutely not alone. Let's settle into this one together because this episode is going to give you clarity, reassurance, and the next steps you can actually use. Most of us grew up believing that the female cycle is neat, tidy, 28-day template, but that's not the reality. Some women have short cycles, meaning they have a period every 24 to 26 days. Others fall into the common range of 27 to 35 days, and some women have long cycles where the gap stretches beyond 35 days. So, when we say regular, we mean regular for you, not for your sister, not for your friend, not for the app that keeps scolding you, and definitely not for the textbook. The problem is that almost every single tracking app is built around an old 28-day model. So the moment you fall outside the template, the app starts predicting fertile windows that don't exist, and you start doubting your body. And that's where the panic begins. Let me tell you about a woman who came to one of my workshops. She sat across me and said, Ariana, I haven't had a cycle in 6 years. 6 years. She told me, in one hand, it's been kind of nice not dealing with the period. But then her face fell. On the other hand, how do I even begin to track something that isn't happening? And she was right. You can't chart what doesn't exist. So our work wasn't about finding ovulation. It was about helping her body return to a cycle, supporting the hormones that needed to wake back up, reducing the stress load her body was under, and creating conditions for her system to restore its rhythm. Her story is more common than you think. And this is why unpredictable cycles are not just an inconvenience. They're a message worth listening to. Now, on the other hand of the spectrum, I work with women who did cycle every month, but their cycles were short, 24 days, sometimes 23. The app keeps insisting she should ovulate around day 13 or 14, but she was getting ovulation type symptoms during her period. Imagine the confusion. She thought something was terribly wrong. But once we worked together and I started charting accurately, she finally understood what was happening. Her body wasn't broken. The app was wrong. She needed her numbers, her biomarkers, her pattern. The moment that she understood her cycle on her own terms, everything clicked. Let's take a moment to break down what's actually happened under the surface because this is where so much clarity comes from. There are several hormones that need to dance together at the right time for ovulation to happen. If one is late, if one is low, if one is spiking too early, you can end up with poor ovulation, delay ovulation, or no ovulation at all. And here's something most women never hear. Ovulation isn't just about an egg. It's also about what happens after ovulation, your luteal phase. Those days after you ovulate matters just as much. If that phase is too short, too weak, implantation becomes incredibly difficult. Another area women are never thought about, period quality. Some women have light, short, almost pinkish periods, but what you're actually having is withdrawal bleed, not a true menstrual cycle. If the uterine lining isn't building right, implantation becomes nearly impossible, even if ovulation happened right on time. And let's say everything hormonally seems on track. Structural issues like polyps or adhesions can still interfere. Again, how would you know if no one ever taught you how to look for those signs? This is why so many women keep guessing, spiraling, Googling, and stressing without getting real answers. Let's talk about Aura rings, thermometers, wearable devices, all the things. I love them, I use them, but they can also distract you from what matters the most, interpreting your actual biomarkers. Temperature is great, but it will not diagnose ovulation for you. Heart rate can offer insights, but it's not a fertility roadmap. Apps can help you log your symptoms, but they cannot predict your unique hormonal patterns. If you're using these devices hoping each cycle, you might end up more overwhelmed because tools don't replace understanding. Understanding replaces stress. So if you've been trying, usually by cycle 6, 8, and 10, the self-doubt starts to creep in. Why can I track this? Why is everything so unpredictable? Why do I feel like I'm pregnant this week and premenstrual the next? Why am I late again? And the emotional burnout sets in. But here's your reminder. It is common for conception to take up to a year with unstructured timing. This does not automatically mean something is wrong. With that said, if your cycles feel chaotic, inconsistent, or impossible to decode, you don't have to stay in uncertainty. Most of us are only taught how to avoid pregnancy, and almost none of us were taught how to understand our hormonal health. And the price of the lack of education is confusion, fear, and frustration. You don't deserve that. You deserve clarity, you deserve support, You deserve a space to ask questions about your body. And if you're listening and thinking, Ariana, I'm ready to finally understand my cycle. I'm done guessing, I'm done with apps telling me lies, and I'm ready to decode my body and figure out my actual fertile window, then I would like to walk with you. You can book an intro session by emailing me. My email is in the notes. In the intro session, I will help you understand the comprehensive system I teach, a system that gives you clarity, support, and the ability to finally see a pattern your body has been trying to show you. No generic advice, no confusion internet rabbit holes, just real guidance tailored to your physiology. Because once you understand your cycle, your confidence grows, your stress decreases, and trying to conceive, it stops feeling like a guessing game. You were never meant to walk this alone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting your body enough to learn it. And thank you for showing up for yourself, because that's what this work really is. I'm cheering you on always. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, we got a special treat for you. Join our free Facebook group where you can connect with other amazing women and share your thoughts. Join us by clicking in the link in the show notes. We can't wait to welcome you into our supportive community. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we'll be sharing even more inspiring stories, encouraging tips, educational insights, and practical strategies. Oh, and before you go, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you found today's episode uplifting and helpful, please leave us a review. It's like giving us a virtual hug, and it helps other amazing women like you find our show. Plus, it makes us smile from ear to ear. And hey, why stop there? Share the love. Tell your Betsy's, your mom, your sister, and even your favorite barista about our podcast. The more, the merrier.